Hello, everyone. Welcome to Brookwing Racing League GT3 Sprint Championship recap video. This week we are at Phillips Island down under in Australia. I was unfortunately not in attendance this week. I was out of town over the weekend and just just barely made it back like right before quali. So I don't even own the track, so that would have been a horrendous idea to try to buy and learn it in 3 minutes. So that's another reason we don't have uh, highlights. I wasn't there, didn't get the replay, and don't even own the track. So if I stole the replay, I couldn't play it because iRacing does not let you look at things like that. Let's see. I watched the YouTube video broadcast of the race. Jason did a great job as always. Uh, it looked like quite a battle up at the front. Really everywhere that he went to, there was somebody dicing with somebody else. I know the top three had quite a battle going on there. That was really quite fun to watch. But we'll go through our winners. We had Mark Foley the pro class and the overall. Way to go. Great day from him. We had Max Poe just continues his reign of terror on the pro-ams with a P4 overall and P1 in class. Eric just consistently having outstanding overall results and gets the class win this week. Way to go. And then Aiden, I believe, Gortz, finishing P19, top 20 as a rookie. That's pretty outstanding stuff. Let's jump in. We'll look at the pros. This is in order of how they finished at Phillips Island. We had our podium was Mark, Josh, and Peter. I know they were pretty close there through a lot of it. I know Jacob had he was kind of all over the place. I saw him, in the mid-teens for a minute there, but ended up sixth overall and fourth in class. That's nothing to scoff at. Kept the points going. I I mean, we come down here. This is the just the standing, the overall. This is the overall standings through these 3 weeks. Um, we have is it Peter is still in first overall. We got Peter, Josh, Jacob, Mark, and then Christopher, Daniel. But if you look at the points differences between these top four, I mean, 70 points, fourth to first, that can that can flip on a dime. We have 3 races left, 2 drop weeks already taken. This is shaping up to be a really exciting battle for the pro overall crown as well as the second half crown. I mean, you look at this, Mark is it looks like he's in the lead here. Let's just sort this and make sure so Mark and Josh, neck and neck, 20 points. Peter's not very far behind at 780. This battle is by no means over. Um, but really the fun one is this overall, and I think that's who will get track choice at the end of the season for next year. Which this track was our previous champion Nick Mazza's pick. He picked this one. He won last season. Um, and yeah, so like I said, this is a super tight battle. First through fourth, fifth. Christopher Daniel fell a little bit off, but he's still got 3 races. That's half of a half season to try to reel these guys back in. But yeah, should be super exciting. Let's go. We'll jump to the pro-ams now, where, as I said, Max Poe continues his reign of terror. I believe that is 3 straight wins this half. He's got, I mean, net. He's got 715 is second place here. Marshall, that's 130 points on him. That is pretty substantial. His drop week score is better than anybody else's best week score. So he's making a charge to see how high up the ranks he can climb in this overall. I mean, he's for sure got the second half locked, but the overall 350 points or so. That's quite the mountain to climb. I think it's still going to come down to Marshall and Chris here as to who's going to take the overall Pro-Am title. Um, Seth, a pretty big mover, coming from 7th to get to 3rd after the past couple of weeks. But yeah, Max just he is on a mission. See if he can. He theoretically could catch Chris. I don't think he can catch Marshall, but we will see. That is quite the battle. But let's go back through the podium. I jumped ahead a little there. So we had Max 413, like I said, 4th overall. Elliott, he kept him honest. He got 5th overall. He was not too far behind. Looks like about a second and a half back for second, and then Spence, he was 7th. So that's a pretty tight top 3 there. Alex Zahir getting 4th, and Christopher Chitterling rounding out the top 5 for your pro-ams in 5th. Like I said, it'll be interesting to see. I'm very curious to see where Max can get by the end of this season. I think he's got a lot of speed. Um, I think not the near the end of the season we'll start looking at power rankings and who's going to be moving and shaking and changing classes. But I think it's probably pretty safe to say Max will find himself in the pro class next season. Let's jump to my class. Like I said, I was not in attendance this week, unfortunately, but see, Eric, like I said, had what a phenomenal ride. I believe he qualified 5th. Unreal. That's pretty insane. I saw him battling with Jacob Simmons. I wanted to grab it. They had a really nice, probably 4 or 5 corners of just like side by side place swapping. That was awesome. And he ended up 13th overall and winning the class for the day. That's fantastic. Holding off Brandon Burns, who's been kind of the cream of the crop in this class for a few weeks now. So it's good to see one of the OGs hit back and get a win for us. Tyler Kern getting 3rd. He's been having some solid results. So a nice podium for him. Tom Smith getting 4th. He's been super consistent this season. Nothing flashy, but just there every week as long as he doesn't get obliterated, getting 23rd overall. Like great showing from him. And our runner here, Mr. Craig Carroll, uh, rounding out the podium for us this week. Let's take a look. We'll start for the half. I believe Eric finds himself taking the points lead on the half season. Him and Brandon are very neck and neck. Neither of them have had a 0 drop week yet, so they both have some points to play with here. Adam took his drop. He's a little ways back, but we'll see. We'll see if he can really round this out. I mean, he's got a pretty killer finish there with the wins. So if he's got wins capable, it's anybody's game. So that's our podium for the half season. Let's jump back to the overall season. In the overall season, Brandon still has an absolutely commanding lead. That charge in the first half, it's going to take a lot. It's going to probably take a couple of zeros for anybody to catch him. Adam's still holding on to 2nd. Eric jumped me for 3rd overall, but 21, 40 points separates us. That's nothing. I'm gonna really have to be on my horse if he's getting 13th overall. I'm gonna need to really step it up to try to challenge him for 3rd there. But being so close, that'll be really fun to watch. But yeah, if you look at our graph of positions, Brandon and Adam have just stayed consistent. Me and Eric swapped this last week, and Tom Smith, charging. He was 7th, and now he's found himself in 5th. Consistency and showing up. Sometimes your best ability is availability, and that's what he's got at the moment. He's there and he's charging every week. So, like I said, let's watch this battle between me and Eric. Could be fun. We find each other on tracks that I'm not horrendous at, and tracks I am. He's always killing it. So it's gonna take a lot of work. That should be a fun battle down the stretch here. And finally, we'll jump over to our friends in the rookies class. Like I said, Aiden Gortz taking the win. I believe he was 19th overall. That's awesome. Maxwell Woodman-Z getting second, and Roman Bykov getting third. I know I saw he was running pretty decent, and he had an unfortunate incident with Trey. I think they got caught up. I know Trey had some PC or race hub troubles with Acetec that caused him to have a little bit of a hurried start. It was a little chaotic for him, but yeah, unfortunate for Roman, but good job to stay on the podium over Jordan and Marcello. Let's see. We'll look. We'll look at the current half. We've got Roman still holding on to a very slim lead over Aiden. And they got a little bit of a gap to almost nearly tied Jordan and Maxwell here for third, with Marcello just right on their tails. With so few people, their points stay close. So if you get a first versus a fourth, it can really swing things pretty quickly. We'll jump to the overall, where Marcello still he's got over 140 on second. So he's kind of cruising to the overall title. If he just keeps showing up, I don't think they stand a chance. But yeah, we'll take a look. I've got our drawing here. Darius Timms, I know, got a huge boost last week from getting that win in Canada. Congrats to him. Sean, I don't know if he's even been showing. Yeah, Sean hasn't been showing up. He's kind of coasting on points from the first half. There's a chance he even bumped up and is just still in the table. Aiden's been hard charging, is finding his way into third. Same with Roman. They've both kind of taken advantage of Sean, and Marcello's just been holding that lead down. Staying consistent. He's always there, and that's a huge deal. So yeah, let's hop over to the teams, kind of just to wrap things up. We have a new leader, Draft Punk Gold, showed up 736 points. See what I mean? Like 610 is still a great amount of points, but it's dwarfed. So the points in these team championships can just flip on a dime. Anything's possible. So currently, we'll take a look at what teams won from this week. We had Draft Punk Gold and Silver. Wow, Draft Punk teams really showing out here. That's what happens when you get probably two top fives, and two top 15s. Like that's impressive. Papaya Rules, Mark and Trey, like right behind them. Mark with the big win. I believe Trey went from back of the pack to like top 10. So classically impressive drive from him. Makes us all look silly. So yeah, this top three from this week were super close, unbelievably fast. And then we'll go jump back to the overall. The gap is nothing. I mean, what's that? 14 points. That is very, very slim. And then another 30 back. No, that's another 120 back for Papaya. So our top two here are really, I mean, they're way out, but like I said, anything's possible. You can have a 400-point day followed by a 730-point day. It's tough to draw too many conclusions at this point. Like I said, I think the teams like us here in Cars Racing, Pax Oceani, Rambunctious Necromancers, I mean, I think they should get a solid 100 bonus points, name alone. Teams that take the dual zero and both have their drop week together and then come back with 500 400 point weeks every other week really put themselves in a better chance. That takes a little bit more collaboration, but I think it's a smart move. So yeah, I think we've kind of caught all the main talking points. Said hopefully next week, with having done the track and having the replays, we can dive into more highlights. Please always send highlights if you have something you want shown. I can pull up streamables, YouTube videos, whatever. Let's have fun with this. And that was a good first half of the second half of the season. And we're at Silverstone this weekend to keep this train moving. So we'll see y'all next week. Have a good one.